Yo, people, can you hear me? Is anybody out there? Put in the chat if you can hear me. This is what I get for leaving the state. This is what I get for leaving Kansas City. Yeah, so put in the chat if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, I'm on my phone. I am now a phone merchant. So do not go anywhere. Can you guys hear me? Jess, if you can hear me, jump back on the same freaking link. I'm on my phone. We're doing the phone thing. We're going to do the phone. Thanks, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Goodness gracious me. Delboy, if you're in the chat, you need to jump on the stream. I'm not going to hear anything else. I want to hear Delboy on the stream. I want to hear what the crack is, Delboy. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. Jez, we're going to use this stream. Come on back in. There we go. Stream. Come on back in. Jez, what a shit show.
Can't hear you, man. It's got to be my end.
Yeah, it's your end. It's your end, Jez. Jez, what a shit show.
Can't hear you, man. It's got to be my end.
Yeah, it's your all good. It's your end, Jez. Jez, what a shit show.
I don't understand because it worked. I've just done an hour and a half. I've just done an hour and a half with Lee, Diesel, and Kenny.
Yeah,
so I can't see how it's not working.
Yeah, I listened in. It was unbelievable. That was a great stream. But now I'm on my phone and I ain't leaving. I listened in. It was unbelievable.
Can you?
That was a great stream.
Can
but
you?
Now I'm on my phone and I ain't leaving.
Can you?
It was unbelievable.
Can you hear? Can you?
That was a great stream.
Can you hear?
Now I'm on my phone and I ain't leaving.
Can you? Can you hear? Can you?
That was a great stream.
Can you hear?
Now I'm on my phone and I ain't
yeah, it's echoing.
Weird. This is tech difficulties, people.
I was going to try and do it with my speakers on here, but it's echoing. It's echoing.
Yeah,
not happening.
That's all right.
Try and do it with my speakers on here, but it's echoing. It's echoing.
Yeah,
not happening.
Just maybe try leaving and coming back in again. Just maybe try leaving and coming back in again.
Sorry.
Just maybe try leaving and coming back in again.
Sorry.
Excellent.
Hang on.
No worries, Jez. I'm going to put you on mute here, and I'm going to run the intro. This is by far the most peak stream I have ever had. Intros come in right now. Let's go.
Saka tries one. On the power play, Sakic fakes it, takes it, scores! Joe Sakic, power play goal!
Welcome, everybody. By far the most peak stream we have ever had here at TJ Warren TV. This is ridiculous, but we are here. We do not stop. We get past the tech difficulties and we keep moving on. As soon as Jez gets his speakers figured out, we will have the Arsenal talk, but I do see a couple of legends in the chat. In the meantime, we got Delboy. TJ says, TJ, I'm just in from chaining my son's team. I'm about to eat something, try to jump on shortly, pal. Yes, Delboy. Yes, we need you on the channel. First time you're joining my son's team. So we need it. I'm about to eat something, try to jump on shortly, pal. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, Jez. You're coming through on there, but you're not coming through here. You're joining my son's team. I'm about to eat something, try to jump on shortly, pal. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, Jez. You're coming through on there, but you're not coming through here. You're joining my son's team. I'm about to eat something. Interesting.
The thing is, I don't have any speakers on my iMac. There's no speakers on it.
Anyway,
The thing is, I don't have any speakers on my iMac. It's all built in. There's no speakers on it. Anyway, I don't have any speakers on my iMac.
Interesting.
It's all built in. There's no speakers on it.
Yeah, we're gonna keep echoing, Jess.
You see, it's reverberating. This.
Interesting. Yeah.
Built in.
Yep, you keep echoing, Jez. I'm gonna hop back on my laptop real quick. Real quick. Hold on. It's easier for me to control things that way, especially if we're gonna have Del Boy jump on here. That would be incredible to have him on here. I'm coming in real well now. Hold on. This is peak, guys. This is absolutely peak. I'm sorry about this. One sec. All right, I'm gonna end on my phone. I'm gonna get out on my phone real quick. Kick myself out. Guys, this is going on the blooper reel. I'm telling you right now. This is going on the blooper reel. There's 10 inside, and I'm still like screwing it up. Can you guys hear me though? Do it one more time in the chat for me. Tell me one more time in the chat. One more time in the chat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, Jaminho, thank you. Okay, guys, excellent. I'm sorry about all the tech difficulties. We're having a great time out here. I really was looking forward to talking to the legend Jez because he has been absolutely ripping apart the wrong-ins in this fan base this week. It's been absolutely incredible to watch. I'm coming from you live for you guys live from Denver, Colorado, USA. I'm actually in Denver doing a wedding for my for a good friend of mine from college, from university. So coming to you live from my parents' basement of all places. So it's been an incredible day. I've been up and going for a long time. I'm gonna go ahead and here. I'm gonna go ahead and just there it is, Jez. Hopefully Jez is working now. Jez, are you working
now, man?
There. Oh my God, we're here now. We're here. Jeez, that was frustrating, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I had a StreamYard update earlier on, which worked fine on my channel, but maybe because I'm guesting on yours, I just did a reboot of StreamYard. I just rebooted it, so it may have been that, man. So I do apologize.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. No, it's fine. Stuff happens. It's cool. This is what this whole YouTube thing is all about, right? Just getting through it and going through. I was just talking to the chat about how excited I was to talk to you. I'm sorry I couldn't make the show with Lee earlier. I was listening to it in the back of an Uber. It was an absolutely incredible show. I have not seen or streamed Diesel before. That guy knows a ton. He knows his stuff, man.
Oh yeah, Diesel. Yeah. I've known Diesel a long time. He's class. He's absolutely class. Top fan.
Yeah. Lenny Moon says edit it out later. Why? Who cares? This is what live YouTube is all about. Connor will probably make me edit it later, but who cares? Okay, we got everybody in here. So let me shout out to everybody who's still in the chat. Carl Rossi was in the chat earlier. I don't know if you're still here. Big up Carl Rossi. Big up my media guy, Connor. Currently have the City game on in the background, as you should, my friend, as you should. They're going to slap Bayern. They're going to continue to slap them, and they're going to continue to be in the Champions League. I hope they win it. I honestly hope they win it. Just go for it. Ideal scenario for us is that Bayern get a miracle 3-0 win in normal time, then City pull a goal or two back in extra time to advance. Yeah, you want them playing as long as they can, right? You want them playing as long as they can. It's just like maybe on a wing and a prayer they'll drop points, but we'll get into that. Big up Del Boy in there. Del Boy might join us here in a little bit. Jez, that would be awesome. Canterbury Gooner's in here. Big up Canterbury Gooner, my guy. Dave Riley in here. Awful finish from Sonny. Bayern should be 1-up. Well, I need to tune into that after we're done. And then my guy Jaminho. Everybody smash a like. Let's get into it though, Jez. We should just call these previews just a fireside chat with Jez and TJ. I think we gotta start. We gotta just have our own show where we educate people on how to be a fan. Connor, I'm just so glad you're here.
I thought I'd come help save it because you had technical issues at the beginning.
Saving the day. Connor, my media guy.
Right, Jez.
Connor, how you doing, my man?
I'm all good. I'm looking forward to some. Well, am I looking forward to it? Because I feel like we might bottle it, but no, I'm looking forward to this weekend and the football. And the Man City game's kicking off right now. Upamecano got a straight red card, then it got revoked. It's everywhere. It's a mess. So it's all a bit of a mess at the moment. But yeah, no, I'm all good, man.
Good, man. So I wanted to bring this up with you guys. Because in the chat, the title of this stream is Arsenal versus Southampton mystery guests. I literally just threw the link in the chat, so whoever wants, or in the Instagram chat, so whoever wants to come in can come in. Hopefully Del Boy will come in. And then we better win or it's over.
Yeah.
We have to win. It's as simple as that. Al Davis, the owner of the Oakland Raiders, the Americans in the chat or who are watching this in playback will get this. Just win, baby, win. You would always say that. And this is no different. We have to win out. We have to win out the rest of the season to get the title. It's literally just that cut and dry. So first I want to ask Connor, because Jez has been out just absolutely destroying the wrongins in this fan base. I mean, the people that needed a reality check, Jez checked them this week, and I was in the chat for all of it, just like. So Connor, do we have any breathing room at all going into this Southampton game? In
what sense? What is between us and City?
But just do we have any room for error? How about that? I'll restructure the question.
Yeah, well, we don't, do we? Because when we're now in a situation where, as it stands, we are only, let's be real, we're now 1 point away from City, because they're going to beat their game in hand, which is West Ham. Let's not be silly now. I know we made ourselves like absolute fools and drew against them, and that's no disrespect to West Ham, but we should have won that game. With our squad.
Yep.
But there is no room for error now. We can only do it to ourselves. And I do rate Mikel Arteta for coming out in an interview and saying that we've got a weak mentality, because it's facts. We just bottled 2 6-pointer games. We could have made Liverpool an easy 4-0 if we wanted to. If that Xhaka incident didn't happen, I generally think we could have walked out that game with a clean sheet, because the way Liverpool were playing in that first half was disgraceful. And I really do think we could have pulled a massive result out of that. And it's the same story with West Ham, and it is incompetent consistency. It's awful. It's inconsistency. Sorry, it's absolutely reckless, and it's not the form of Premier League champions. You wouldn't see Man City do something ridiculous like that. Well, at least, from what we know, anyway. It's ridiculous, and this is now the stuff where it's sort of become like classic Arsenal. Now we've always got to bottle it when it really comes down to the wire in these really major moments. Don't know what it is. It's any time really now recently. You always seem to bottle it, like that Europa League quarterfinal, whatever it was, round of 16. Really, really pissed me off, to be honest with you, because that Sporting team wasn't that great, and we made them look great. That's the problem, and it's ridiculous. And now City are possibly on the way for a triple. They could get the Premier League if they want to, the FA Cup and the Champions League. And that's champions mentality. And at the moment, yes, we've played very well this season. Don't take it wrong. This has been our best season in however long. But we're now starting to play like we've played in the last couple of seasons, especially when we finished 8th. Just, it's inconsistency. And it's really, it's such a shame, because we've really got the squad to win it. And in a sense, it is down to mentality and just how poor we are when it comes down to crucial moments. And this game against Southampton, by God, if we walk out this game with a draw or a loss, say bye-bye to that title, mate. That's it. It's done. And we don't deserve it. We don't.
Yeah.
We can't be that inconsistent. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. You know, I know we drew to Southampton in the game at St Mary's near the start of the season, but either that, I don't care. We've got to win the game. And if we don't, kiss the title goodbye, because we ain't getting that. I honestly don't think we'll get it. Because if you can't even beat 20th place Southampton, you don't deserve it, in my opinion. So we'll wait and see. But it's such a shame because we could have got those last 2 games could have been wins for us, man. They really could have. Well, we don't know what could have happened in that second half of Liverpool. Xhaka didn't do that, but I do think we were the better team in terms of that first half. If Liverpool played like that in the second half, we would have won that game comfortably. But it's just such a shame, man. You know, it's such a shame, but it is what it is, and we've just got to go. We've got to face that game Friday night and get those 3 points, TJ, man. Otherwise, we're bottlers, aren't we?
Right. And, you know, my grandpa used to say, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, what a wonderful Christmas we would have. Right. So, you know, it's one of those things where if we hadn't lost away 1-0 to Goodison to then 20th place Everton, if we hadn't, we almost lost to Bournemouth. We drew to Southampton and St. Mary's, and there's no indication of that not being a possibility of happening again at the Emirates. They could absolutely stink the place out and just try to get points against a much stronger Arsenal team. Do I think we're going to beat them? Yeah, we should. We should. It should be at least 4, at least.
Yep.
But you know they're going to be up for the game. You know that Theo Walcott's going to come in there and be like, you know what, I want to ruin some dreams. And you can't say and Maitland-Niles got bought by them, right? Or is he on loan?
No, he's on loan.
No, he's on loan. So he's out. So that's good. He's their starting center back, and he's gonna be out. Yeah. So there's a little bit of hope there. Just one less guy that won't know the system. But at the same time, man, these Saints, they can pop up and they can bite you. Just ask Spurs. They can pop up and bite you. I
said it against West Ham, TJ, quickly. It's like we can't be conceding set pieces. We cannot be conceding set pieces in this game because James Prowse will hit us.
Oh my God!
And that's going to be the problem, and that's something we've really got to be aware of. And I don't want, because now I'm looking at, and I don't like to pull out names because there was a lot of bad performances against West Ham. But if Rob Holding really is going to really be that inconsistent and that complacent and give away set pieces, oh my God, it's going to be a tough game. But that whole game on Friday. Southampton are going to park the bus. Let's be real now. They're coming to the Emirates. They're not going to go there expecting to go full force. Like, let's go and really go for this. Yeah. I know they are in a relegation battle. I think they may not have accepted their going down. I mean, I really don't see them staying up, in my opinion.
No, I think they're going down too.
I think they're going to play a park in the bus game, and we find it really hard to break down teams that really do stay back. We've seen it multiple times this season. We do find it really hard to get into the rhythm of things of breaking down teams that like to sit back. So I really hope it's not going to be a case of where we're going to make it extremely difficult for ourselves and we come out with a draw again. And it's all because of a stupid set piece or an error that we've made, And like I said, TJ, stuff like that, if that happens, then it just shows why we are complete bottlers, And it's such a shame. We've had such a good season like this and, it is what it is. I just hope it doesn't come to that,
I agree with you. Jez. Southampton are a cornered animal coming to the Emirates. We need to be taking them seriously. What are your thoughts?
Cornered animals, mate, can bite you in the arse.
Yep.
Fat. And Connor, great point you just made. Mentally weak, as Arteta said them. But I want to go back to a point that Arteta made in that Amazon thing. He's fixed the team mentally. His quote. He's quoted that. So that says to me, actually, you're a liar or you're an absolute complete prick because you don't make a statement. We know it's all for cameras. We know all that. But you actually made that statement. You have fixed the mentality of the team. And then after West Ham, you say they're mentally weak. So that means you're mentally weak than Arteta, which I think you are, because I don't think you're good enough. I've been saying it and saying it and saying it. I've had hate. Lee's had it. Kenny's had it. The real ones actually stand by what we actually mean and what we say, and don't flip flop like certain very big Arsenal channels. To the point, I was on a channel, not on it, I was in the chat the other night, and I've been blocked under my personal name, like on here. I went on under my channel name, and I got blocked again. And I said nothing offensive. All I made was a couple of comments, and they were not derogatory. They were nothing horrible. And a certain woman who I absolutely cannot stand blocked me again, because she will not face the challenge. She won't face it because she knows absolutely jack shit about Arsenal Football Club. And she is one of the people that will follow the narrative. And unfortunately, TJ, this is what we have to face. Because last night I was on another stream having a debate, a nice debate, very friendly, good debate. People say, well, if we come second, I'll take it. No. Well, it's better than we finished last year. No. If you are in a title race, right, which what we've been saying for the last 4 years, then you expect to win. Mm-hmm. We have been top of the league all season, number one spot. And now we're looking at capitulating it because of poor management. I'm sorry. I've backed Arteta this season. I said, well done, mate. You're doing a great job. You have. Yeah. But unless you win it, sod off. Because you've had your time, you've had your money, and now it's time to get it over the line. And to me, I think we will win at Southampton, to answer your question. Sorry, I think we will win against Southampton at the Emirates. But we then go away at Wednesday. Is it Wednesday next week?
Yep.
To Man City.
Wednesday next week. Now, Man City. It's going to be a long week, my friends.
Well, they're playing tonight. They've got to then play on the weekend in the FA Cup on Saturday or Sunday. I think it's Sunday. So then we've got to then play them. So the only bonus we've got about that is we could sneak it. I'm not doubting we could. But if we walk out of there with a draw and we win against Southampton, that will put us 8 points clear. Now, they have 2 games in hand. Mm-hmm. But that means if they win both games, we're 2 points clear. Which means then we've got to go to Newcastle and do the job against them. Because in the remaining games that Man City have got, they're not going to drop a lot of points. No. I doubt they'll drop any, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's how it is. So it's now all on us. The pressure has turned. The world has turned. The pressure's on us, and we've got to deliver. Fact.
Absolute facts. Yeah, absolute facts, Jez. And it's one of those things where I said this on our fireside chat that we had the other day, just you and me. I really enjoyed that stream, by the way. That we are very much a momentum team, and I really think that if we don't get all 3 points and at least 3 goal difference against Southampton, we don't stand a prayer, because this team is momentum. We're a swing team. When we get hot, we get hot. When we get cold, we get very cold. And you can blame a lot of it on Arteta. I agree with you, but the players have to take some responsibility. They have to look back. I mean, maybe you managed that mentioned that Amazon documentary, Jez. Maybe they should go back and watch that Newcastle game again. The part of the documentary when they lost away at Newcastle. Maybe you should watch that again and say, how badly do you want to feel? Do you want to feel like this again? Because that's where we're headed. That's where we're headed. You guys can slam water bottles and bitch and moan all you want, but your mentality and your lack of focus has brought us here. And to an extent, Jez, I agree. Mikel Arteta has to hold some of the responsibilities, but players like Odegaard, players like Xhaka, players like Ramsdale, Zinchenko, players that are the leaders of this club need to hold some corn as well. Because Mikel is not going to lace up his boots and go out there himself. He can't. At this point, I depending on how Xhaka is playing or Odegaard is playing, I might ask him to.
Do you know what? Sometimes I watch him on the sidelines, and he always goes so far out of his box. Sometimes I feel like he wants to get on the pitch and actually play.
I'm surprised he hasn't gotten carded for that. Honestly, I really have.
Yeah,
he's gotten carded for yelling at the referee.
Yeah. But that's the other thing. That's when you know, if you see in games when Arteta isn't doing that, that's when you know he's really fucked up. Oh, excuse my language, but that's when you know he's really messed up. Yeah,
Haaland's just missed the penalty.
Oh, is he? Oh dear. That must be his first penalty miss for Man City. I don't think he's actually missed.
He missed the penalty?
Over the bar by about 5 feet.
Oh, man.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, anyway, well, that's quite hopeful. Hopefully,
yeah, right.
Against us.
Long may it continue.
That's right, cheers. So that happened against Liverpool. And I think Jez even pointed that out when we done a Liverpool review. He was just sat there like this. Like, I don't know what to do now. Like, where's the plan B? And quickly on to City, I really do hope we do go into the City game with a different plan. Because I think I've said this multiple times, TJ. If we go into that City game with our same tactic of this inverted stuff, it's not going to work. Like, no. I'd be really disappointed in Arteta as a coach, as a manager, and even his staff behind him. If they genuinely think that they can walk into that game next Wednesday, I can't even believe it's 7 days away, man. I'm bricking it.
Unbelievable.
I wish I could go a bit slower, in all honesty. If they walk into that game thinking that they can do exactly what they've been doing all season, I'm sorry. Like a couple aspects, but the stuff, especially defensively, you're asking for a loss, and I really do hope that as a collective and as a team that they don't do that, because if we can see it, surely they can see it, and we've got to go there with a surprise to Man City, and I think that's the only way we can really cause some damage against them, because they'll be going there expecting, and I do think that Saliba could be back for that game. I'm hoping and praying, and I think Arteta's keeping it on the lowdown to really surprise Man City in case he comes back. So we'll wait and see, but we've really got to go to that game. I know it's a Southampton preview, sorry, but we've got to go.
No problem.
We've got to go to that game and try something different, not massively, but especially defensively, because Pep will be on it like nothing. Pep will really lay this out, and at the end of the day, Arteta knows Pep better than probably any of the other managers in the Premier League. Like, personally, like he worked with him for how many years? 3-4 odd years. He knows him better than anyone. Surely he can come up with something to really. Even if we secured 3 points, oh my God, I'm not going to say anything because I was that confident against Liverpool that I thought, nah, I'm not doing that again. But there's loads of factors where we can really go there and possibly get a point or 3.
Yeah.
There's also factors where we can go there and make the same mistakes that we always do. And then I go back and think, those last 2 games that you've played, is that possible? But
I agree. I want to shout out a few people. Dietrich Kane. Okay. Dietrich Kane is one of the Tottenham away guys who always goes into Stelios' chats and is hanging out in the Henry Wright's chat. He is one of the smartest. I think he's one of the smartest, most opinionated Tottenham fans I've ever met. Me and him always get along on those call-in shows. So big up Dietrich for being here, my man. It means a lot that you're on here. Appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate it. Sub to Dietrich Kane. I don't know if you have your own channel, Dietrich, but Always love your takes, my man. BX Gunner is here. Again, Dave is here. Yeah, Jamino, I am not going to be able to do a call-in show after the Southampton game because I'm in Denver, and I will be able to watch the Southampton match, but afterwards I'm going to be doing groomsman duties for my buddy that I'm in his wedding. So I will possibly do a call-in show on Sunday when I get back to Kansas City, depending on how I'm feeling, and maybe we can talk and hopefully be talking some shit, and we can preview the Man City game, because that's gonna be a long one, and it's gonna be a very, very busy week for us YouTubers out there. Quick turnaround for the next match. So yeah, kind of sticking to the Southampton preview. I don't want to look past Southampton. I don't. I hesitate to do that just because our current form right now is dross. If we come out firing like we did against West Ham and against Liverpool, and we're able to actually keep that momentum and hold on and not put on our clown noses and our clown shoes and hop around like idiots and give up 2 goals, and let people back into the game, we're beating these lot probably 4 or 5-0, I think. The only people in that Southampton team that scares me is I believe Gibbs White. Or no, Gibbs White's on Nottingham Forest. Never mind. I'm thinking Ward-Prowse. He's always dangerous. Like you said, Connor, earlier in the show. You give him a set piece, he's going to score 100% of the time. And then you have you have Theo Walcott, and that's it.
Possibly Che Adams, maybe.
Yeah, Che Adams.
Oh, now and then. Yeah, there's nothing really much to shout about them in all honesty. The defense is obviously not great. I think, are they the most conceded team against this season? I might be correct. I don't know.
I'm gonna look.
At the end of the day, they're last place for a reason. They're there for the taking. And if we really go there and mess this up, I can't go to the Emirates. Sorry, really mess this up. But I think, yeah, they've got a bit in them. I do generally think it's going to be a case of they're going to park the bus and counter attack, and we just got to deal with that, because recently we've been playing a very high line, and I feel like we'll be doing the same against these guys, because I don't think they're as big of a threat as other teams. Yeah, I hope that doesn't come back to bite us in the arse, because they can counter if they want to. Any team can counter if they want to, realistically. Yeah. So that might be something we've got to look out for. And yeah, I think he's a midfielder there, Lavia. I think
Lavia. Yeah,
he's a very good.
I forgot about Lavia.
He's a great
yeah, and then you have what was I going to say? What was I going to say here? Oh, you asked the question about if they're the worst defensive team in the league. Honestly, they aren't. Leeds have conceded more goals than they have, and so have Bournemouth. But they are bottom of the barrel in terms of goals scored. They share that honor with Southampton, Everton, and Nottingham Forest, long-haired Yetis team. Wow. Big up Golazzo. I see you out there, Fran. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, Lavia's good. But this is a championship bound team. Like, the fact that we even have to worry about this is concerning, because you literally go from the 20th place team to playing possible Champions League winner Man City, possible Premier League winner now Man City. It's looking a little long for us, Man City. But Jez, what are your keys to the game for us to win against Southampton?
Well, basically, fact is that I said earlier, I think in this particular game, let's put Saka on the bench. He certainly wasn't on the game at West Ham. I'm not saying he's knackered. I just think mentally he might be getting a little bit burned.
I agree. Yeah.
This is a chance now, Arteta. This is your chance to actually prove your worth, that you can actually have a different tactic in your locker and mix it up. I'd go Martinelli, Jesus, Trossard. I'd go 3 up front. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Make a statement. Make a statement to Manchester City and say, right, we're in this for the full term and actually get back in control. You're going to have the Arsenal fans behind you at the Emirates. It's going to be a sold-out crowd. I've no doubt about that. So Friday night, so make a statement, mate. Show us what you have actually got to get it over the line. Now, if Arteta goes with the same setup again, it's so predictable. Managers can read it like a bloody book. And I will also say this. If he does this inverted Zinchenko style game at Man City, we are done and dusted. Because Pep Guardiola will know exactly what's coming. He will punish us down on their right wing, our left wing, because he knows the style of play from Arteta. And sorry to say it, Pep Guardiola is world-class management. Mikel Arteta is not. Pep Guardiola has the experience of winning everywhere he's been. Arteta has not. Now, I hear and respect what you said, that Arteta worked with him, and yeah, he did. But what Arteta's learned is Pep Guardiola's style of play. So who better to lose against than Pep Guardiola if you're playing his style of play? You need to have your own style of play. And I'm sorry, in the last 3 years, in all the games we've played against Manchester City, we've lost. On a couple of occasions, been absolutely battered. So, Mikel Arteta, you have got to mix it up on Sunday night, because Friday night, because you know Manchester City will be watching that, or Pep Guardiola will. So you've got to give them some doubts.
Yeah,
You've got to say, right, we've got a style of play different to you. I've learned from you. Thank you very much. But now this is my style of play. And when we come to you next week, we're going to scare you a little bit.
Yeah, no, straight facts. I really want to see, I would love to see Mikel switch it up a little bit, because now you have, if he's going to play his normal 3-4, sorry, I'm having a complete brain fart here. 4-2-3-1. Sorry, jeez, I'm losing my mind.
I think you're thinking of Man City with the three at the back, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, 4-2-3-1. That's it. If he's going to play that, and he's going to play an inverted midfielder, Pep's gonna see it. I do not see how Mikel can be like, okay, well, we've played that formation the last 2 times we've played Man City, and we lost both times. So we should probably change up the formation. We should probably try to do something different and throw something different at them. I mean, we've lost twice to these guys, and now we've had 3 months to prepare and get something different out there. I don't think it's going to happen. Just because Arteta is set in his ways, but the way that's where the players come in, though, is that the players have to get it over the line. That's where the Kieran Tierney's have to get it over the line. That's where certain captains from Norway have to get it over the line, have to find some courage, have to find some balls. And I'm going to start riling myself up again, because I see, you can literally see them drop their heads, and I don't see Odegaard getting them together and say, hey boys, look, what's going on? No, the heads went down and they never came up against West Ham. They never came up. When you are a captain of one of the best football teams in the world, I would expect you to lead not only by example, but lead vocally as well. And that may not be the kind of captain that Arteta wants. That's fine, but that's the kind of captain that I want. And I think that's the kind of captain that would push these boys over the edge a little bit. But I just do not want to see Odegaard, especially this weekend, let alone against Man City, disappear, because that's what he does in big games. And whether you like it or not, boys, this weekend is big. This weekend's huge. Okay, like Man City, guys. Man City isn't going to matter if we lose against Southampton or draw against Southampton. It's not going to matter. We might as well just go down to Manchester, grab a beer, and come back. It doesn't matter. I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. Like we're playing against relegation fodder. I mean, and the relegation fodder is still dangerous. Still dangerous. Ask Tottenham. Ask Man City. Ask Man City.
Yeah.
Odegaard's too quiet. Odegaard is too quiet.
Yeah.
He doesn't bollock players enough. And the fact he's a captain that disappears in the game himself, that's not the levels.
Yeah.
No.
We've had captains that would absolutely punch. I actually saw once Tony Adams in a game, right? Went to Nigel Winterburn and grabbed him round the bloody throat. He grabbed him round the throat. It was a Tottenham game. And basically, he didn't be that aggressive, but he was grabbed him and was giving it into like that. Because that's the sort of captain he was.
Yep.
He was aggressive. And we don't have that. We don't have that type of player. Odegaard is, I think, a very nice guy. Gets on with all the players on the, he gets on with them on the training ground. It's all nice, pally. They're having a laugh. If you are the manager on the pitch, i.e., captain, on that pitch, you have no friends. You don't have friends. You say to them, "Do your bloody job," or I'm on you. If you run your business. If you run the business, you might respect your employees, fine. But if you're running a business, you have to bollock them. I had to when I ran my business. If one of my guys fucked up, I bollocked him. I'd take him in the office and say, "You've been shit on that job. And you will now go and put that right at your expense. You're not getting paid for it." I know it's a different scenario. But if you're a leader, that's what you do. And that is what makes me laugh about some of these people I've chatted to in this last week, that they accept weak mentality. They accept, a guy I was chatting to last night. I mean, probably a very lovely guy. But you cannot accept losing. And, he said, I actually posed him the question. I said, "So you accept coming second?" "Well, yeah, that'd be all right. We go again next year." And I said, "No. If Arteta doesn't do it this year, after being top all season, then sack him.
I want to see a clear out of at least certain sporting directors if we get second. At least it's unbelievable what passes for a good transfer window with some of the folks in our fan base. I mean, Connor, I want to maybe come to you with this. If Arsenal, let's say Arsenal bottle the league. Let's say they get second.
Yep.
What do you want to see happen? And Jez, I'll pose this same question to you because I maybe want to give you some time to think about it, and I need to give myself some time to think about it. And Connor's a youngin, and he'll be able to give us an answer more quickly, I think. Who do you think? What would you do? You are Josh Kroenke. You graduated from the University of Missouri. You're an American with way too much money.
Yep.
What would you do after you saw your team drop an 8-point lead and get second to Man City, with 8 games to go after being 8 points clear. What do you do? Who do you move out? Who do you move in?
Okay, yeah, well, great question, first of all. Yeah, if I was Josh, if I was Josh that actually cared, that's what if I was Josh that actually cared, first thing I'd do is I'd look at the team. I'd go speak to Mikel and I'd go and say to him, right, because he'd be honest, like behind the set, he won't say it into interviews, but he'd say it behind him like, okay, who are the weak links here? Like, who's really let you down? Because at the end of the day, right, we can blame the sporting directors all we want for maybe not putting in enough effort, for getting the right players that we want. That's completely fair enough. Mm-hmm. But on the pitch, it's the players and the manager really, and the team behind him. That's mainly the problem. It's meant to be fair, it's mainly the players because they've got a job to do. They go out there and they get the performance. You got to get the win. That's the whole point of football. At the end of the day, I'd say who's your weak links? You get them gone. You strengthen up your team. It's as simple as that. That's literally the way of winning football games. You get rid of the weak links, you strengthen up your team, you become stronger and stronger every season, right? And that's what I'd go ahead and do. Now, in terms of managerial position, if we do end up getting second, I don't think we'll get third. I don't think we'll really stride that way. Mm-hmm. I think it will be a second place thing. Now, this is a bit controversial because I've been a bit back and forth, right? I want to see, because I'll tell you, it's a really poor couple seasons with us, right? But if he's really what he thinks he is, a top-class manager, and he thinks he can really take us somewhere, like he said in multiple interviews about winning the Champions League and all this, right? I really want to see him doing what we've done this year, next year, but better. But if he can't do that, I'd get rid of him straight away. But then again, there's the side of saying he's already been here for 3-4 years, and he hasn't done it yet. So it's a bit of a weird one. But if I was Josh and I look at it, I generally just get rid of all the crap. And one thing we've got to do, we've got to make that bench 10 times better than what it is now. Because by God, realistically, when we looked at it when we were fully fit, no injuries at the start of the season, I think a lot of fans didn't actually realise how bad our bench really was, especially in defensive areas. It is shocking. It is really bad. I'd get rid of and I'm not playing Mr. Nice Guy anymore. You can be the nicest guy in the world. I'd get rid of Tomiyasu. I'd get rid of Rob Holding in defensive areas, and I'd really, really just get better replacements, man. Because you look at Man City's team, right? It is levels clear of ours, right? And I'm not trying to compare us like we're on the same level as them. We're obviously next to each other in the league this season, but realistically, they are better than us in terms of squad.
Yep.
You just got instead of looking at also main starters, that bench really needs to be sorted out because injuries happen in seasons. And if you have a season like Liverpool this season, you've had major injuries, you've got to have a good bench behind you, man. And our benches have really been letting us down in terms of options, in my opinion. And even saying that, some of the loanees we've got out, I'd get rid of all of them. Majority, I probably the only one I keep is Balogun because he's had a decent season in Liga, and I think, okay, you've proven yourself in Liga. Maybe come back and see if you can do it in the Premier League now. The rest of them, I'd sell them all. Honestly, Nicolas Pepe, honestly, I'm sorry, right? And I know he was our record transfer, and I know it was there and there, but he was just not worth 70 million at the end of the day, or 80, whatever we paid for him, right? I get rid of absolutely everyone that we've got on loan because there's no reason in keeping them. I'm sorry. I'd loan out a lot of our youngsters in Kivior and Fabio Vieira. I'd send Fabio Vieira back to Portugal on loan, and I'd send him with a weight game plan because, by God, he needs to get some muscle on him. I'm sorry. That's another thing. Players like Nuno Tavares, Pablo Mari, Maitland-Niles, I'd get rid of all of them. It's time. If you really want to move on as a club, you've got to get rid of all the dead wood. And players like Rob Holding, who have been here for God knows how long, I'm sorry. You can be the nicest guy going. You can be Wenger's guy. You can be whatever you want. I'm sorry. You're not good enough for the club. You probably would make it into a Southampton side, Rob. I'm sorry, but you would. I don't think you'd get any higher than that. You know, it's the stick of the trade, isn't it? You know. And
yep.
At the end of the day, we've got to be making big moves as a club. We've got to be making these types of moves as a club if we really want to be going forward. And if we are competing in the Champions League next season, which I bloody hope we are, because I'm not having all these years where we've been Europa League to then get knocked down or knocked out with Champions League and then to get knocked down in third place back into it. You know, I at least want to be really giving it a go. But we need to bolster this squad. And honestly, I could talk to you for hours about where we
Well,
can go there and everywhere.
Well, this is another show. This we got to
Yeah.
do. We got to do a keep bench, a keep sell bench.
Yeah.
We got to do it. We got to do it. And you you are my first. You are the first guest.
Yeah.
And yeah, just
but to keep it short and sweet, right?
Yeah.
If I look at it as an owner of a club, of course I don't really have any experience in that. But if I look at it if I look at it personally, I would look at it at the end of the day. The players that you've got on the pitch are the players that can ruin it. Like, fans can't do it. Realistically, the sporting directors cannot do it. Maybe they haven't brought in the right players, but the players that they've got, if they're not doing the right job and they've bottled an 8-point lead, then it's the players' problem. I'd look at the weak links. I'd sell them. I'm not going to get into that because that's for another video.
Yeah.
I'd look at that. I'd bolster on that. I'd bolster on the bench, especially with a Champions League season coming up. You can't be having Rob Holding as a backup in the Champions League. I'm sorry. You really can't. There's better options out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd get rid of a load of the loanees because there's no point having these guys on contract when we're going to keep loaning them out every season. There's no point, honestly. And that's what I do. You know, you at the end of the day, the summer transfer window is meant for transfers. It's meant for getting rid of players and bringing new players in. And I really do hope that Josh and Stan really do start putting in money into this club now, because I'm sorry, we've really shown that we can realistically compete as a club now. You know, and I agree with what Jez said. They haven't really been putting money into the club. It's in a thing where it's we spend about 200 mil every summer. There's not really if we really want to be going forward, we've got to be spending more at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, that's football now. It's going to keep growing. We're going to keep paying. What's up, Del Boy? We're going to keep having to pay more and more and more for players. So the prices are only going to go up. And finally, we've got to be building around our strongest players. Build around the foundation. You know,
I agree.
That's where I take with it. And another thing I would do, I wouldn't sell Kieran Tierney. To put it bluntly, just got to work on the team. You know, if we're in a Champions League season, we've got to work on it. But let's actually get this title first, then we'll talk about it.
Spot on. I want to shout out a few people in the chat, and then I'm going to introduce a guy that I've been watching for a while. But I want to shout out real quick. I want to shout out True Gooner, my guy. I've been watching this kid for a while. This kid is special. True Gunner. If you are not following him, follow him now. This kid knows what he's talking about. He speaks straight facts about Arsenal. He is a what we call a wonderkind YouTuber. So he's a fantastic youth, if you will. And we also have Matthew D'Souza in here, stirring it up. And Darren Sullivan. I don't know if I shouted you out yet, Darren, but big up Darren every single time. And making his first appearance on TJ Warren TV, the man with the plan in Ireland, Del Boy Gunner TV. How you doing?
Jesus, you have me all nervous now. I have to put in a good performance there. Big up, lads. How are you all doing?
Oh, we're nervous, man. We're nervous. Come on. I don't know why am I nervous about a game going away to or Southampton coming to us, coming to the Emirates. Why am I nervous? I shouldn't be. How are you feeling about the entire situation? And then I want to ask Jez what he would do if we got second. And I'm pretty sure he'd burn the whole thing down. But Del Boy, give us your thoughts about the game coming up and the situation at Arsenal. I would just want to give you the floor, my man.
Yeah, look, this time last week before the West Ham game, I wasn't nervous at all about these two games. I was just looking at, right, we're going to beat West Ham. I want to beat them by about 2-3 goals minimum. Then go into the Southampton game, beat them about 3 or 4-0, and have a nice little run there. Make Man City a bit nervous, make them respect us a bit more. And just go, yeah, do you know what? Arsenal are still, they're top of the table. They're on form. They're slapping teams. We have to give them respect. These boys now, Man City, when we play them on Wednesday, I think they're not going to show us as much respect, as we should have. The West Ham game, doing the show, yourself, TJ, Jez, and Connor, you guys know, when you're doing a show, especially after a game, there's a lot of tension in the air. There's so much you want to say. You're looking at comments. I didn't get exactly what I wanted to say. I was so annoyed with that Arsenal team. The performance from, I'd say nearly every one of them was so bad. It was ridiculous. You know what I mean? No leaders. I keep banging on about this. I shouldn't have to be, and I'm not the only one. There's no leaders. Odegaard didn't play well. Saka, like, you know, I thought, you know, he hasn't played well in a few games, but you can't, like, he's been outstanding the whole season. I'm not saying he's not good or anything like that. I'm just saying the last few games, he knows he's going to start every game. You know, he needs a kick in the arse, I suppose, you know, and sort of give him a, you know, maybe not drop him, but, like, you know, say, here, mate, you need to buck up a bit, you know. Do you start him on Friday night? You know, I don't even want to start him on Friday night. That's my sort of opinion. I just think we should, let's say, try Trossard up there with Martinelli or Reece Nelson, or, like, you know, something like that. Change it up a small bit. You know, we just seem to have no plan B. You know, it's so frustrating. So frustrating. I think the West Ham game, the only one that played okay. Well, not that even played okay. I don't think you can tell any of them that played okay. But Tierney, I suppose, done okay, as in he sort of kept to the one level and just kept it going and stuff like that. Xhaka, you know, I wasn't impressed with him at all either. Why can't we change it up a small bit? And, you know, if Xhaka's not playing well, why not try and put in Zinchenko in that midfield area, sort of left sort of defensive area, and put Tierney out on the left-hand side, see what Martinelli, give him his free role, especially against Southampton. Just let him off, let him do what he wants to do, you know, and try the Zinchenko, the Tierney, let them boys on that sort of left-hand sort of side and see what happens. You know, but we should be slapping these. There's no excuse for it. There's absolutely no excuse for it. You know, even after the West Ham game, we have to beat them. Like, you know, and I'm talking convincingly by about 2 or 3-0. But do I see it? If we do Arsenal things like making things hard, if they get the first goal, we're up against it straight away. And this is at the Emirates. Ridiculous.
You got to be worried about Southampton at the Emirates.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Ridiculous. This is why I think, you know, and this is why I keep going back to it too. We're such a motivation team, or a momentum team, that, you know, I think, and this is a tired phrase, but I think this Southampton game is our most important game of the season, because it will show our intent going into the Etihad on Wednesday. And I cannot believe I have to worry about Southampton. I'm going to say it over and over and over again and pinch myself, because this is an actual reality that we live in.
But I honestly think that, like, teams now they're getting us on the Rob Holding thing, because Rob Holding, Gabriel doesn't have the confidence with Rob Holding as he did with Saliba. You know, it makes him nervous, and when he's nervous, he does stupid things. He gets sent off, he like fouls in the box and stuff like that, and it just shows you, like, how important Saliba has been for us in that defense as well. You know, so I'm real nervous, especially against Man City. If Rob Holding is there, we are really up against it. You know, I've no confidence at all with the Man City game. We're going to lose, and I think we're going to lose heavily.
Even if Saliba comes back.
Yeah, but I suppose if Saliba comes back, if he is fit enough, like, you know, will he be up to speed of Haaland? You know, how fit is he going to be? Not that he should be fit, but like up to pace. I'm talking about Premier League pace. You're going to be up against one of the best strikers on the planet at the minute, you know. But yeah, you have to play him, because Jesus Christ, Rob Hairline, you know what I mean? I'm not having him, you know. That's just, you know.
Rob Hairline.
The problem with Rob Holding is he's just inconsistent, isn't it? And he's not an Arsenal level defender. He's not like, if we look at Gabriel and Saliba, right, you'd want a backup to be somewhat on the same level as them, you know, maybe a bit older, I don't know, but you want someone who's on the same level. And Rob Holding, like, we look at if Saliba got injured, which he did, and then we think, oh shit, it's Rob Holding. It's Rob Holding that we've got going in, you know. And you've got this man, Evan Ndicka, plays for Frankfurt. I think he's fantastic. He's a French centre back. I think he's really great. When I've seen him, play in Europe.
This is the whole thing as well, Connor. The whole we knew we needed a central defender because, like, if William Saliba or Gabriel got injured, you're going to have Rob coming in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in January, this should have been sorted. And I'm going to, like, you know, I'm going to go in on them over this, because let's say we can all push Arteta under the bus and you can sack him after the end of the season if we don't come second, or whatever your belief is. But there's people behind the scenes that have to be accountable, because surely there should have been the conversation that should have been, if Saliba or Gabriel gets injured, who do we have cover? We're going for the league here. Who is up to that standard to cover for a possible injury? You know what I mean? We don't have it. You know, what if Holding got injured? Who are they going to put in then? You know what I mean? These things happen in a league. You know, it should have been covered in January. Wasn't. Just, it's a joke.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. All right. I want to go back to what we were talking about before. The ifs and buts question. I think we all agree that we should absolutely smash Southampton. We'll get your score predictions here at the end. But if we do get second, we've been talking a lot about, you know, Arteta in, Arteta out, Edu in, Edu out. Who do we get rid of? Who do we keep? Yes. This has been, you've been a big cog in a lot of these conversations this week. And I think I know your position about Arteta and wanting him out if he does bottle the league. But who do we get in? You know, you are the Cronkies now, Jez. You are now a rich American that owns several sports franchises. You have more money than God. What do you do with it now that Arsenal have finished second and we have Champions League next season?
Right, okay, I'm Josh Kroenke. But if I was Josh Kroenke, I'd be in a totally different position, because I would actually be living in a penthouse or a multi-million-pound house in Hampstead Heath and actually going to the games.
Yep.
Actually taking an avid interest, speaking, watching, talking to the fan base, getting the opinion, not living on a ranch, God knows where, somewhere in America.
He has a penthouse. He has a penthouse in New York. He doesn't even live. He doesn't even live in Colorado, where half of his franchises are. By the way, I won't get into that though. Keep going. Very
nice for him. If you actually own a football club, you actually go and watch the games. It's a thing. If you own a horse, right, you don't get somebody else to ride it. You ride it yourself. Yeah, you go and see it. You go and say, "Hi, mate, how you doing?" These Cronkies are a problem. Now, we're just a game to them. We're a cash cow. Now, answer your question. I'm Josh Kroenke. I've watched every game this season. I've gone to every game, home and away. And I'd be saying, at the end of this season, sorry, Edu, sorry, Garlic Head, you're sacked. You haven't done your job. You've had your time, you're sacked. Let's get a proper management in. And I'd also do Arteta, well, you've had your time. I've given you, or I have allowed you to spend £500 million. You've done exceptionally well this season. You're at the top of the league until, let's say, the third game of the season. You capitulated. Sorry, mate, you're done. You're sacked.
Yep.
And in the background of doing that, I'd be talking to people like Allegri, Simeone, managers of that ilk that actually do win. And I'm sorry, if you are in elite sport, you expect to win. I said it the other day. If you're a racehorse trainer and you've got a horse in the Grand National, you want it to win. You don't want to come second. If you put that horse or you put that trainer in that position 3 years on the bounce and it don't win, then you get rid of the trainer, you get rid of the horse. So the same situation is, going back to what Connor was saying, there are players in this squad that are just not good enough and they have to go. You don't have, I saw today, Marseille don't want to keep Tavares.
Shocker.
They lack. Sorry.
No, I said shock. That's shocking that they don't want him.
Well, because they've questioned his professionalism.
Yeah.
If Marseille question his professionalism, and Haaland's just scored, who knew? And if they're questioning it, then we get rid of him. We get rid of him. There's only one player out on loan that I would keep, and that would be Balogun. But I will say this. He's never yet been proven in the Premier League. Now, the other fact is, if Arsenal want to be sensible and actually do achieve and win, then you have to actually be sensible and actually say, things aren't right here. Edu, you're an absolute arsehole because you have just not done the job you're supposed to do. I mean, he has no experience in this position. He worked for the Brazilian Football Association. So he didn't have to negotiate deals because all he did was bring in Brazilian footballers to play for the international team. So he's not buying players, is he? And it proved his point, his stupidity, when we got a player in, which we could have had for nothing. Oh, but to be nice, I would give you £3 million. Oh, yeah, okay, let's all be friends. It's bullshit, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
And this is,
No, I agree.
This is why Arsenal do not have winning mentality. And I'm sorry, it's all come from Arsene Wenger. Top four. And some of the guys I was chatting to last night and on a show on Monday night, well, we've overachieved. Oh, well, we never expected to be in this position. Yes, because you've never, ever seen Arsenal win the Premiership. Fact. And I'm sorry,
Yep.
I do not accept mediocrity. If you are running a business or you're running a football club, you're in it to win it. Fact. When I used to go, before I shut up, when I used to go in for contracts in business, right, and I'm up against 2 or 3 competitors, and I've got to do a presentation to win that contract, I'm not going to be nice about it. I'm not going to be friendly and talk to these other 2 competitors outside of the room. I'm going to ruin them. I'm going to ruin them and actually say,
Yep.
well, actually, my company's better. We achieved this. These are our targets, and this is what we're going to deliver. Fact. That is winning mentality. And the other night, I really upset a guy when he said, well, you just want to win everything. I said,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
That is what it's about. And he said, well, you can never win everything. And I said, how do you know? Have you ever tried? And it's like, this is it. This is the society we live in this world. People don't want a challenge. I'm not having to go at you, Connor. I'm not having to go at you, mate. You're a young man. You've got ambition. No, you've got ambitions and you will achieve. You will be a winner. But there are far too many young people out there in this world that will just go along with the narrative and they say, oh, well, we weren't meant to win. Oh, well, I'll accept this because that's what it's about. And that is, I'm sorry, a generation that has been left and learnt that it's okay never to achieve. And I'm sorry, I said to this guy, not about football, I said, you will never achieve anything in your life because you don't have ambition and you don't have the will to win. And you'll just be a little person that swims along with the rest of the fish, and you'll one day get eaten because you've got no ambition. And that is the world. I'm sorry.
Facts, Jez.
Well,
facts.
if anybody knows, it's Jez. Jez has seen it all. He has done most of it too, as well.
And TJ, can I just sort of jump onto that there? What Jez was saying about the Cronkies and the owners, like he's 100% right. Look at Ryan Reynolds, right? We all know he owns Wrexham. He's after buying a house near Wrexham, I don't know, 10, 20 miles away from the stadium. That just shows you the dedication that he wants from his new club. Now, I know they're in non-league, but they're getting promoted and they're putting money into it. They have a plan. They're going ahead with it. You know, the Wrexham fans know the direction that they're going in. You know what I mean? But that's commitment. Like, as we said, you even said it there, that Kroenke, Josh is living in a New York City.
Yep.
That's no good if you're running Arsenal Football Club. One of the biggest football clubs on the planet, by the way. And you're over in New York. How can you look at the day-to-day running of the club? Because to be a champions, like the Man Cities, their owners, I don't know where they live or whatever, but you see them a lot at the stadium, at their matches. You know what I mean? Yep. They have hands-on, you know what I mean, people in their club. Josh is hands-on as I do. And as Jez said, no experience in that position.
Yep, total facts. I want to give Prince a chance to have his say. Prince Fuad in the house. Mikel Arteta's propaganda minister is back with us, and we are talking. we're talking about Wales and who better to throw it over to our boy from Wales, Prince. First of all, how you doing? And then I just want to give you to give your take on what you've heard and just some of the feelings around Arsenal Football Club right now with regards to the mentality of the club, and how would you move forward, or how would you want to see the club move forward from here?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I was gonna just say, like, you got a bit, like, I know the results have been poor, like the 2 draws, the 2 throwaway goals. I've been frustrated myself. Everyone's been frustrated, but what frustrates? What's not happening? Okay, you've got the same fans, all right. Okay, ambition. They ain't got no ambition. But then you've got the same fans who ain't got no, who's like, who haven't got no hope. Like, for instance, even though we dropped 2 points in them 2 games, okay, we never lost them. Now Arsenal got to go and do what they got to do. And like I heard Del Boy say earlier on about Man City ain't going to show us respect. Well, I hope they don't, because then Arsenal got to go and earn it. So, I know we dropped too many points in these last 2 games, but the league ain't over yet. We got to beat Southampton. It's going to be a tough game. Then we got to go on to play Man City on our Wednesday night, and that game defines just our season, regardless of the results what just went by. Because, okay, for instance, I'll give you a point. Say, for instance, Arsenal did beat Liverpool and did beat West Ham, but didn't beat Man City. This fan base have a meltdown. But if Arsenal go there now, beat Southampton and beat Man City, the same fans who are all saying, "Oh, we got no chance, they're going to destroy us, Haaland," will be the same fans being, "Oh yeah, I told you so." So that's my frustration with some of the fans. Like, I know there's negative fans, but then you got some fans saying you got to be in a balance. Like, if Arsenal want to win the league, they got to do it the hard way now. They can't feel sorry for themselves. Like, "Oh, we threw it too late." No, they got to go. They got to go to Man City and get a result. That's what I know. I know it's a big ask, but if anyone could do it, they can do it. Because this season, we're on top. We're on top because we're the second best team in the league. Because we're on top, because we are the best team in the league. So the best team in the league got to continue that winning mentality. We had a little dip now. You got to continue that winning mentality and continue that force and go to Man City and try and get 3 points. If they beat Man City, a lot of people say the title's over for Man City. It's not. If we beat Man City, we just took a big step to winning the title. Yeah. Even if we, it ain't over until it's over. But if we beat Man City, then we took that big step of winning the title. I mean, and at the same time, I believe Man City will drop points from now to the end of the season. Maybe we'll drop points, but I'm not like. But we're still, the Premier League is still in our hands. You know, it's down to Arsenal. They win every game. They win it by a point. We pin them by a point, including beating them. If we beat them or draw with them, then we're 2 points clear, and we got to continue. And everyone's on about this. Oh, we still got to go Newcastle away. Okay, that's fair enough. Newcastle will be a tough game. But last season, and everyone, look what it did to us last year. Last year, we had a strained up Ben White. We had no Partey. We had no Smith Rowe. We had no Saka when they beat us there. We had no players there. But if we're going there with a fit Gabriel Jesus, a fit Thomas Partey, a fit Ben White, it ain't going to be the same game as last year.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we beat the games we lost last season. We lost to Palace away. We beat them this season. We lost. I think we lost to Sevilla away. We beat them this season. We lost to Tottenham away. We beat them this season. We drew with Fulham last year. We beat them this season. I don't know. Fulham was in the Championship. I mean, we drew with a team last year and we beat them this season. Who did we draw with away? And we beat them this season. But it's just we the results have been all right. But the last 2 games I've been worrying. But I'm not going to say it's over because the league's still in our hands, and Arsenal got to do the hard job. We've always done it hard. So keep the faith. Win on Friday, then going into our Man City game, everyone got to go just back your team, just go get behind them. Because if they win, you know, you like, oh, we got no chance. Eden Haaland. Listen, Eden Haaland, they come to the Emirates, but you got to bear in mind when we're going to their ground, everyone knows in a title race, everyone knows the home team feels more pressure than an away team. When we went to Old Trafford, Manchester United felt that pressure. Same way when they come to Highbury, we felt that pressure when they beat us at Highbury to pick the title in 99. Oh, no, 99 was in 2001 or 2002 season. We should have won the league. 2001 season, we should have won the league. So it happens. It happens. But we got Arsenal know what got to do it. And this team, Arsenal team, they just got to go out there and do it. The truth, because we won't get a better chance in this.
But see, can I just jump in on that, Prince? Like the mentality of some of the players, like, you know, Arteta needs to sort of, we're on a wobble now. We need to get that sorted out. You know, the winning against Liverpool 2-0 up, the substitutions were disgraceful that day.
He's not helping himself. He's not helping himself. He's not helping himself.
I think that the season is now on a knife edge. We have to go out and absolutely slaughter Southampton, because if we don't, you know, and they get a result, like, you know, it's going to be carnage. Let's be honest about it. You know what I mean? Because the mentality just it's.
But it's not that. It's not that. But Del Boy, with all due respect, right, Del Boy, you got the fan base. Like I'm not gonna say is Jez and Connor. I'm saying fans in general. And Connor's been thing. A lot of the fan base, even in the chat now, they've been cursing like Zinchenko from the start of the season. You've got to bear in mind, you've got to be honest. Let's go off facts. Last year, when we had no Zinchenko, we couldn't even get in the top 4. We couldn't even get in the top 4. That's the reality. Zinchenko, from the start of the season, if you had to stick up for the Arsenal fans, winning a title race. So from the start of the season, from December, everyone be saying from the start, drop him. Okay, you drop Zinchenko, and we're not in this predicament. We're not in this place. Who do you blame then?
No, but I'm talking about
Zinchenko's coming to the team and bring that winning mentality. That's why we are today. Because when something's working, fans still ain't happy. Like everyone says about, oh, okay, Kieran Tierney. But it's like the other day what Kenny said. He was at the game. Kieran Tierney kept giving the ball away. But no one pisses that out because he's a favourite and people like him. They won't slaughter him for it. See, they do, all players, they do make mistakes. But with Zinchenko, the run he's had in the team, to be honest with you, as fans, sometimes you look at him and say, you know what, he's done well. Because if you win the title, with Zinchenko win the team, what's people going to say then? What are they going to say? Oh, yeah, he's in the team, but we could have won it with team. We couldn't get top 4 with team. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm not making it up. Last year, everyone had a meltdown.
Prince, what I'm saying is the man management in the Liverpool game was useless, because the substitutions that he made was awful. The timing was brutal. We're 2-0
I
up.
agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
The West Ham game as well. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not just picking out Zinchenko. I'm just thinking about when we were coming down to, let's say, the last eight games. We had 8 cup finals left. You have to man manage each game. If Saka was playing useless, you take him off. It's not his day. That's understandable. You know what I mean? You have to. Yeah, he has to go with that. You can't just go, oh, well, that's Saka. I can't take him off. Players play bad, and that's understandable. You just got to manage the games. You know, and I just think the last 2 games he hasn't. He's been awful.
I couldn't agree with you more. I agree with you on that, and that's just what I'm saying. Mikel Arteta now has got the biggest judgment. He's got the biggest head. He's got the biggest. What can I say? Headache on the planet. He's got to either he goes a pair and say you're not playing, you're not player, or he just says go on my best 11. Yes, I agree with you on that. I'm not gonna sit here and say to you you're wrong. No, I agree with you because Mikel Arteta has got it wrong in the last 2 games. Is he gonna have the balls to say to Saka, you're not performing, sit out for this Friday game?
I hope so.
And make him feel hungry again. Or is he gonna play him and he's gonna have a crap game and the other players have to pick up the performances again? So I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing, but that's what I'm trying to say is like these next 2 games, the most important games of the season. For Southampton, Man City.
Yeah.
And it's down to him. This is where he gets his money worth now. Is he going to be, and I agree with Jez, is he going to be the inexperienced dopey Arteta and think, okay, and try and think, or is he going to be the Arteta who's think, I've been here for 4 years, it's time for me now to play my part right, play my cards right, and boom, you're Saka, you're having a rest. And only knows we'll find out on Friday. But
the thing about it is, and like what I would do is, I wouldn't play Saka on Friday and just go, look, mate, I'm sorry, you haven't been playing well the last 2 games. We're going for the title here. It's not the Saka fucking FC here. It's Arsenal. Okay? We'll drop you. I'll bring you on 60th, 70th minute. Prove to me that you're ready and fit for Wednesday night. And make him just go, how dare you drop me, Arteta? I'm going to prove to you. That's great. Prove it to me. Prove to me that you're good enough, that you want this. You know, and I hope he does.
Yeah, I think he will. I definitely think he will. I want to address some of what Sam is saying. Sack Arteta for getting us our best ever season to hire Potter. Sam, this is not our best season ever. Stop it. That's a ridiculous statement, and that's the kind of stuff that is setting. These are the kind of comments, like, all due respect, Sam, that are splitting this fan base apart. So stop it. That's not what we're saying. That is not what we're saying at all. There's a lot of things that remain to be seen with this season. We are saying sack Arteta or some of us are. Okay, so this comment that's kind of ridiculous, my guy. And then you come in with this. I wonder what you would have said ahead of Liverpool away, May 1989. Liverpool to destroy us. Let's sack Graham. Nobody was saying that. Jez, was anybody saying that?
No.
Okay, so and I don't get me wrong. I was only in May 1989. I was only 5 months old, but I can pretty much guarantee that wasn't being said. So Sam, come on, man, come on.
And Sam leading up.
And Sam, here we go again. You're doing it again. And thank you for being here. Smash a like and sub if you haven't already. We love this kind of banner. How are the most points and wins? Not our best ever season. The trophy case is dusty, my guy. The trophy
it's
case.
It's not our best ever season
dusty.
if there's no Premier League title. Say that at the end of the season, man. Like,
yeah,
it's inconsistency if we don't win it. Come on. I know we've had a good season. We've been playing well, but you can't be 8 points clear and bottle it. And that's what we've done these last 2 games. We should have got 3 points at Anfield. We should have got 3 points at London Stadium. And if we don't get 3 points against Southampton, kiss it goodbye. I'm sorry. We've then got Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton. Chelsea you can write off because they've been really bad this season. But Newcastle and Brighton are 2 very tough teams, man.
Can I ask you a quick? Okay, I'll say something, all right? Newcastle, all right?
Yeah.
All right. Everyone's saying it's going to be a tough game, but people who actually don't understand the pressure of football, who haven't played like high level football, don't Newcastle would have been a tough game if they would have continued their form. But you know now, Newcastle, Arsenal go in there. You go and ask them Aston Villa fans. Look at the table now, it's changed. And you go and ask them Aston Villa fans and Tottenham fans and especially Villa. If Villa continues playing how they're playing, they could break into the top 4. And now Newcastle will feel that pressure because there's teams behind them who could now actually break the top 4. Because if you go back a few weeks back, it was only them and Man United for top 4. But now you got Liverpool like only 5 points behind them. Then you got Aston Villa the same. So it's going to be pressure on everyone. No game from now to the end of the season it's going to be like they got something to play for. So when we go there, they're going to feel the pressure too. It ain't going to be like last year when they had nothing to play for. They know they lose to Arsenal. What happens? They could drop out of top 4.
No, Prince, the reason I was saying that is because like we've got these games after Man City. Like the reason we should have got 6 points from our last 2 games is, and we look at the likes of Newcastle, they've still got a lot. I know they got battered by Villa the other day, right? Fair play. But we're going to St James's Park as well. Like, that's their home turf, and they've got the best defensive record in the season out of all the teams, I believe. I think that they are still above Man City. Am I correct? I may be wrong, but I think they're still above Man City. It was I know every game for the rest of the season will be tough. Don't get me wrong, I get that, but it just makes me fuming how we could have been so far ahead, in this table, and we've just bottled it. And back on your point earlier of Zinchenko, the only reason I've ever criticised Zinchenko is because of, and then again we look at it against West Ham. It's now just a fact of an Arteta tactic. But the main reason I go for Zinchenko is not because I hate him or I think he's a shit footballer. He's just not a defender, and we shouldn't be playing him at left back. And it's simple as that. But the problem is we don't want to be dropping, and we go on about how it's Saka FC, like Delbo said, it's not Saka FC, it's Arsenal FC. This isn't Xhaka FC. Why can't we drop Xhaka for a game, put Zinchenko in that centre midfield slot? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying drop Xhaka because he's shit. He's been better. This is probably his best season in an Arsenal shirt. Yes, he's had his mistakes, i.e. Liverpool. But why can't you drop him just for a game, put Zinchenko in his position where he really should be playing, and put Tierney at left back?
You should try it against Southampton. See,
try it anyway.
No, but if you're gonna do something like that, and it works against Southampton, and it'll work against City. Because you want to be dropping.
If we go to that game with Zinchenko playing at left back or any of that inverted stuff, we're not going to walk out of there with any points.
No, we can't go there. Look, Mikel Arteta, if he goes there, I tell you now, if he goes there playing that inverted left back, and they get that space and they get them corners good and they get them balls in the box, Haaland's going to score about 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know that. So he knows that, and the world knows that. He's got to go there with a different tactic. And personally, I agree with Connor. Drop Xhaka, because at the end of the day, he hasn't been performing.
Yeah.
Jeremy, it's like, do you know what? I know you're not going to like what I'm saying, but even in that West Ham game, people criticised the Chelsea boy, Jorginho, whatever his name is. He come on, and actually he settled the game. We were on the back foot. And he just come and control. We told him, calm down. And he took the ball and he was thinking, he played still, he's in control of the game, like, because of his experience. And that's another thing. If you knew Partey wasn't up for it, and I didn't agree with taking off Gabriel Jesus. But that's what I'm saying. He's got to learn off his mistakes now, because these next 2 games are very important for the Arsenal fan base.
Prince, real quick. I've been trying not to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Del Boy has to head out. I want him to give him a chance to shout out what he thinks the score is, and just shout out his channels real quick.
Can I just ask a very, very quick question? Sorry to interrupt you. Sam Greenwood, were you actually born in 1989 to see that game?
Jez, let's put a pin in that. Del Boy, real quick, go for it.
Yeah, no, thanks a million, TJ. Delighted to be on your channel, mate. Thanks a million, and big up the boys, Jez, Connor, and Prince as well. Thanks a million. Big up to your show. Delighted to be on. We have to do more of this, to be honest. I enjoyed it. Please. Today, Wednesday's a bad day for me. I teach the young fellas football, and then to get home, get something to eat and showered and changed and all that, yourself. So Yeah, look, Del Boy Gunner TV do the fan cams after all the games, so
Legendary
anyone's
fan cams.
more than welcome to join in. All these legends will be always on it as well. It's absolutely great crack after the games. Yeah, so big up to everyone, and thanks a million again, TJ.
No,
And
Del Boy,
hit the
thank
like
you.
button on your way out, guys, for TJ. He's a great guy.
All right,
Cheers,
thank you, Del Boy. Have a good
See you
night.
later, guys.
Cheers,
Take
See you
care.
later. All right,
Cheers.
all right. We are gonna. I do want to answer what Sam was saying here. I'm talking about the point that none of you will admit that the progress we've been making. If we don't win the league, you can't logically say there's been no progress. Sam, none of us are saying that.
Yeah.
Sam, literally, Jez hasn't even said that, and Jez has been like the harshest critic. Jez has never once said, or myself, or Connor, or Prince, or Del Boy, or any of us, or even Warren can even say there hasn't been any progress. That's not true. There has been progress. The difference, or what I think what you're missing here, and what we're trying to say is that our level of expectations have changed. Okay, at the beginning of the season, it was top 4 in Europa League, and then we went on that tear. But after that Man United loss, after that Southampton draw, we went on that tear. But like all the way up to about 2 weeks ago, where our form was unbelievable, league leading, league winning form. So our expectations change. We have the title in our grasp, and we are letting it slip away. And that is where the frustration comes from. There has been progress under Mikel Arteta. There has been. We can admit it. We can admit it. I can admit it. I don't want to speak for these other guys here, but I can admit it. But expectations are allowed to change with the context. You've been using the word context, with the context of what is actually going on. So please stop putting words in our mouth, because that is not at all the case. And you know, thanks for coming by. Keep commenting. Prince had to drop. Big up, Prince. Thanks again, Prince, for coming on, man. Go ahead, Jess. Sorry.
Did not Unai Emery get Arsenal to the Europa League final?
Didn't win it.
Didn't win it, no, because the team didn't turn up. But one of the greatest managers in modern times in the European Europa League final, he's won it 3 times. So I would say Sam Greenwood, he actually did a decent job. And Sam, Arteta won us the FA Cup, remember? No, he didn't. Unai Emery's team won the FA Cup final because Arteta fluked the quarter-final against Sheffield United when they had 2 goals disallowed. We beat Man City, and then Chelsea, their best player at the time, pulled his hamstring. That's how Aubameyang scored 2 goals. So, Sam, I'm guessing you weren't ever actually alive in the 89 season. Because if you knew about the 89 season, you wouldn't talk crap. So don't come here, mate, and try and talk to me about the 89 season. Because I went through that season and I was actually at Anfield the night we won it. So don't sit here, mate, and talk to me and think you know about that season.
Sam, nobody's saying Arteta wasn't the manager. We're just saying he wasn't the team. It wasn't his team. Come on. All right, I'm done. He's obviously done with us, and we're done with him. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap up, guys. This has been an absolutely incredible stream. It got off a little bit rocky. Connor, we might have to.
These
a lot of
kids,
TikTok.
Where you gonna?
They
Go ahead,
can't
Jess.
face an argument because they talk. Sorry, these kids can't. They come in, they say they can't face an argument. They can't. They don't have the intellect to actually have a debate.
Jamina made a great point. Jamina made a great point there. We fluked that FA Cup run. Fact. That Sheffield United game was so bad. And that was the season I believe Sheffield United were getting relegated, if I'm right. Because they had that one good season where they got
it was.
Then
It was.
And you know, McGoldrick, and that was the point. And I know Ceballos obviously scored in the last second kick of the game to win it, but and it's difficult because you can't fault that we have been the best we have been this season, that we've been in a long time in terms of football and the place we're in. But facts can't speak if we bottle it. You can't still say, "Oh, but it was still a good season." I'm sorry, you can't. If we were the underdogs the whole season and we were chasing first, maybe I'd get your opinion then, and we didn't end up getting it. I'd maybe get it then because we were still chasing them, but we just couldn't catch up to Man City. But the fact that we've been leading this whole season, and if we do bottle it, you can't say that it was still a good season, in my opinion. Anyway, I just don't think you can, because you can't, that's just called, in my opinion, it's called bottling.
We were 10 points to United and threw it away.
Yep. And would you call that a great season, Jez?
No.
Would you have called?
Yeah,
exactly.
10.
You know, and that's the
point. Yeah. And we showboating Bolton Wanderers. I was at that game. We were 2-0 up, and Thierry Henry, all that ilk, started showboating, thinking it's just a kickabout, and we lost 3-2. And after that, we lost the league. 10 points clear. 10 points. And we lost it.
Facts. Nothing but facts. Sam, dude, seriously, send me your information. Yeah, my Instagram is TJ Warren. Let's get you on. Instagram is TJ Warren. Let's get you on the next show. I would love for you to get on camera and have this conversation with us outside of the chat. Because having this conversation outside of the chat would be not only great television, but I think you would be able to understand our argument just a little bit better. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. Every view is allowed on here, and we will 100% talk it out. That's what this YouTube thing is all about. That's what this fan channel is all about. TJ Warren TV. Smash a like, hit the notification bell, do all that stuff. Yeah, even Ceballos scored. Yeah, I remember that. That was ridiculous. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap up here. Let's everybody shout out their channels. It was a little bit of a rocky start. Connor, we may need to do some editing, just a tad.
Yeah,
just a little editing.
Yeah.
For everybody coming in on playback, especially the beginning. Yeah. So everybody on playback we'll spare you the TJ and Jez.
One last thing, because I'm not a hostility guy. Sam, if you are still watching, big up to you, bro. Listen, not all of us will agree, and at the end of the day, that's the best part about this kind of stuff. If we all agreed, this would be the most boring thing in the world. And the fact that we don't agree, and I know people will now probably go for Sam and say, "Oh, yeah, this, yeah, that." Fair enough.
Do not go for Sam. Do not go for Sam.
At the end of the day, we've all got our own opinions. We might sometimes think that their opinion's stupid. They might think that our opinion's stupid. But at the end of the day, it's all just our opinions. And the football's going to do the talking, isn't it, at the end of the season? So we'll all have a massive chat and probably a massive falling out, whatever happens at the end of the season. But for now, we focus on the football. We move to Southampton. So, Sam, if you are watching, big up to you, man.
Yeah, big up, Sam. Thanks for being here again. Jez.
That's not in a mocking way.
No, it's not. We're being honest. We're being honest here. Jez, shout out your channel, man. What do you got coming up?
Yeah, I'm just going to endorse what Connor said. Sam, I respect your opinion. And that's your opinion. That's your opinion, man. And I'm not having a pop at you, my friend. If you ever want to come on my channel and have a debate and have a polite chat, you're more than welcome, fella. I respect everybody's comments, but the only thing I'm going to say is get your facts right, because it is what it is, mate. If you're going to debate, have your facts, because otherwise you'll get torn down. Channel is Arsenal History More, and on the way to 4K now. And on Insta, I don't do anything on Insta. I do have a group chat, which is great fun. It's a laugh, and it's collins.jez on Insta. But TJ, great show. Connor, you mate, your graphics amazing. I'll always promote what you're doing. TJ, you're ruining it here on YouTube. You're actually rocking, building, going upwards, and I'll always be here to support, man. No worries.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Jez. Obviously, your support means a ton to me, so thank you very much. Connor, shout out your stuff, my man, my media guy.
Yeah, do editing work. That's what I do. I'm only on here for my opinion, but I enjoy it, especially with all the panels that always come on. It's always fantastic, honestly, at the end of the day. So I do editing work. I have a YouTube channel. Haven't touched it in about a year, but maybe next season we'll see what happens. But I just come on here, voice my opinion, and talk to these lovely fellas around me as well. But yeah, I do editing. The Instagram is in there, right there. And I've done work for Jez, and I'm currently always doing work for TJ at the moment. I've done loads of other stuff for loads of other guys probably in the chat and who have been on the show as well today, like Del Boy. So yeah, please do feel free to check out my Instagram and give me a DM if you want any editing work, if it's for your social medias, YouTubes, anything like that. And I will be happy to talk to absolutely anyone. And it's been an interesting show today. I think it was more, I don't know, it definitely wasn't a Southampton preview. It's probably about 20 minutes. It's probably about 20 minutes of the Southampton preview. But anyway, that's what we love about this, isn't it? So makes great watching. So thanks again, TJ, and Jez, of course, you absolute legend. Really
Absolutely. Fun. Thank you both again. And I want to say thank you to Prince Fuad, and I want to say thank you to Delboy. Yeah, Dal's in the chat. Big up Oregon Gooner, my co-host. Delboy was in the chat earlier, and so was Prince. So I was glad that they ended up being the mystery guests after some technical difficulties, which we will cut out.
My fault.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Doesn't matter. Okay, so TJ Warren TV, again, tomorrow we will have the American Idiot Show a day early because of the Southampton game on Friday evening. Not what is that, 9 p.m. UK? 8 p.m.?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. UK? 8 p.m. UK. So tomorrow at 9, no, I think we might do it a little earlier, actually. I think we're going to do 8 p.m. UK tomorrow for the American Idiot Show, just because I'm on vacation in Colorado, so I'm going to be hopping on and off streams whenever I can. So tomorrow we will just be talking Prem and just kind of storylines all over the Premier League. I would love to talk about Tottenham and the shit show that they are right now. So I'm sure, that'll turn into a lively debate as well. I also want to say to everybody in the chat, thank you so much for your support. We've consistently had 15 people or more this stream. And that is the most consistent we've been on this channel. I mean, obviously I went on my rant on Sunday, and that got some views and some attention. But this has been a lively debate, a great discussion, and it's had good viewers, which is great for my channel. I do want to make a quick channel announcement. This is going to be solely a Arsenal channel for now. I did go ahead and advertise it at the beginning as a Colorado Avalanche fan channel as well. I do hope in the future that I'm able to do that, but right now with everything that I have going on, I'm acting in 2 shows in Kansas City over the summer. One that just kicked off last night, actually. Rehearsals are kicking off for that last night. I'm also doing wedding gigs, as I talked about before. I just do not have time to cover the Avalanche. I want to in the future, but for now, we are just sticking with Arsenal and going with the great fan base and the great supporter base that I've been lucky to build with your support. So Arsenal only for now, maybe more to come later. So with that, I'll go ahead and end. I'm going Arsenal. We're gonna beat these lot 4-0 on Friday. Catch you tomorrow for the American Idiot Show.
5 from Jez.
Jez says 5. What do you say, Connor?
1-0. No, I'm joking. Do you know what? Just because of our recent performances, I think 2-0. And I want to be more hopeful, but I'm going to go 2-0.
I'll take 2-0. I'll take 2-0. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining, and we will see you tomorrow. Let's go. Come on, you Gunners.